Good evening, everyone, and welcome into the Pioneer Coaches Show, Episode 4. Today's Thursday, October 1st of 2020. This evening, I'm joined by the head women's soccer coach at Glenville State College, Coach Eric Belcher. Coach, thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Excited to be on this podcast we got going on here.
Coach, it's year 4 for you in the program. Talk a little bit about, because it's kind of unique. You started this program from the ground up. Talk a little bit about, where you think you're entering year 4, the team's at. Is it heading in the right direction that you want it to go? And then, also, when you guys get to take the field to play, expectations of 2020 or 2021.
Yeah, so going into year 4, a lot of good things have been built over the years with the kids that's been here and the kids that have left and the kids that have come through. We're very excited for this year. We got a good group of girls. I know we say that every year, but this year it's a little bit different. We got a lot that come from the same areas in terms of recruiting, so they know each other, they've played together, and they spent a lot of time together. As we get going, when this all subsides, I think the girls are gonna be in a good place. Obviously it's not where we want to be with COVID, but we'll see what the season brings as we get rolling.
You just mentioned it, COVID-19. It's been probably the most craziest time for most coaches and athletes ever. With that, what's the most difficult thing going through this whole pandemic for you and your team, other than obviously not being able to play the games right away?
Right. So I guess the toughest thing for us is just to keep the kids engaged. Obviously our sport is a team sport. It takes 11 of us. So trying to build that cohesiveness without being around all 11 is very tough. But the girls are dealing with it well. They understand the situation and they're just working hard in terms of trying to be ready to go when it's time to go.
Let's take a look at your roster. First off, some players, some key players that we have lost to graduation and eligibility. Lyanna Weaver, outstanding transfer last year, had a hat trick in the first win in the MEC League play against Wheeling. And then Julia Lesko. Talk about those two, kind of what they've meant to the program.
Yeah, so obviously Weaver came in last year, a real good player. She left in terms of her done with eligibility. That was a good 7 goals, 4 or 5 assists that we're losing. We got some kids that are ready to step up and take control of those reins that she kind of had. Definitely a big game player. One of those kids that it's hard to find every year. So we'll definitely be missing her, but we got some kids that are ready to go. Keep that a secret, though. We don't want to tell everybody. And then obviously losing Julia, someone that's been here for 3 years since we started this thing. She provided a lot of assists for us over the years, and I think just her play in general is going to be missed on the field. But again, we got some players that are ready to fill her shoes. And all losing top players, it's always tough, but that's what the younger players are supposed to do in terms of stepping up and being ready to go.
Let's talk a little bit about the returners. You've got a good balance of returners coming back. Chelsea and Carly Midkiff. Morgan Smiles, a goalie. Talk a little bit about some of the returners that Pioneer fans need to kind of keep their eye out and watch when you guys take the field.
I think we have like 15 or 16 returning or something like that, something crazy. But we're excited for those kids. They've been under the direction of what we're trying to do for a couple of years, so they're very keen on doing the right thing and producing what we need to produce. Looking forward to all the juniors in general. They've come back real strong with good summer ethics and good summer work habits. We've definitely seen a very improved player in terms of someone like Carly who went through the ringer last year. She'll be on the top list that people kind of need to worry about. And we got a few others that we're going to keep under the hat until spring. But I think I think everyone's going to be surprised in how hard the girls work to get where they want to be and where we're going to be as a team.
Looking at transfers is it's always a big part of the college level in trying to replace some players lost, and it's always a good avenue to go sometimes, especially with the experience. Most of them come in having played at the junior college level or transferring from another four-year institution. Talk a little bit about the number of transfers and anybody that you're really excited about.
Yeah. To be honest, most of our team is transfers. I think we have, overall, 20 out of our 28, 29 have transferred at some point. This year we had about 7 or 8 that transferred in. Those kids definitely have brought a lot of excitement to the team. 3 of them won a championship last year at their JUCO. So they're bringing in championship experience for us, and I think that trickles down the team in terms of what we're doing all around. And then we had a couple other ones that played together, so that cohesiveness is going to help as well. And the good thing about the transfers is that they're there already as a student. They understand it. We don't have to sit around and kind of hold their hand through college because they've already done 2 years of it. That also helps us on the field in terms of them being physically and mentally ready to tackle the D2 level.
I chose Louisville State College because I toured their science programs because of the technology advances that they have and the machinery to do tests, which is awesome. Like, you don't get that anywhere else at all.
My sister was actually in the honors program and she mentioned it to me, so I felt like it was a really good idea. The opportunities were really good. I really liked the class sizes, and they offered everything that I needed.
And then last but not least, let's talk a little bit about some of the freshman newcomers that you're excited and anxious to see grow.
Yeah, our freshman class is small. I think we have 4. But the kids we do have are great kids. We've got an international kid that came in. She's bringing a lot to the table so far that we love. And we got a couple local kids as well that are definitely doing having their time to shine in practice. So our freshman class is very little, but they're not little in terms of experience and ready to play. So definitely wouldn't be surprised to see some of them taking on a lot of minutes this year.
Last season, you guys finished, 3-15, 1-13 in league play, won the first league game, as we mentioned earlier. What are you looking for to improve most on the field in terms, when it correlates to winning on the field? And then obviously, we know it's going to be scaled back somewhat because of the shortened season and all that. But what do you think is going to be the biggest jump from last year to this year?
So our record kind of doesn't show where we were at in terms of a team. A couple overtime losses, a couple 1-0 losses, 2-1 losses, 3-1. So the team was right there. We always talk about just getting over that last hurdle to finish off what we start in terms of games. I think this year, as a group, we've addressed those problems in terms of getting over the hurdle. Always, try to correlate it to track in general. Sometimes when you hit a hurdle, you might fall over. And, for us, when we hit that hurdle, now we've got, 20-something people that are going to help you up and let you finish the race. And I think that's going to be a big part for us coming into whenever we play again. Just the fact that we've been there and we know that we can finish. So definitely looking forward to it. I think the kids are ready for it. And I think it's going to be very interesting in terms of getting into play next year and where we sit on things.
Obviously, you guys and the team, you're still working, you're still practicing. Talk a little bit about how that's going in preparation for when you guys get to take the field.
Yeah. So obviously, COVID has put us in a weird situation. We do get a couple practices in, a couple long weeks for us. We've broken down into groups, and then we break the groups down a little bit further. Getting a lot of touches in. I think when it's time to go, that rust that you kind of get over the summer, we would already have kind of knocked that off. And just kind of focusing on staying fit and just getting our touches in. I think our big transition is going to be when everything's good to go and we can get, all 28 of us together and kind of work as a unit instead of these separate little groups that we kind of have to work in.
Now we've got soccer out of the way. Let's get to know Coach Belcher a little bit for the fans.
I'm smiling under this.
So, if there's any sport that you could see yourself being a head coach other than soccer, what would it be and why?
Probably hockey.
Hockey. Oh,
Yeah.
That's okay. That's a different one.
That's one of the sports I played growing up, and it's kind of similar to soccer, indoor soccer.
Right.
It's all kind of the same metrics, and then you get a chance to say, that person's making me mad, so just go crush them, and it'll be okay, and you'll have the space to do that. So definitely hockey.
Okay, so you're sitting down one evening, and I should actually add probably another category for you. But the NFL's on,
Yeah.
the NBA's on, Major League Baseball's on, and then for you, we'll say soccer. Which one are you sitting down and watching?
Depends on who's playing.
Okay.
I need the teams. It depends on who's playing.
Okay, Monday night game last night.
Okay. Was that the Raiders?
The Raiders and the Saints, yeah.
Yeah, I caught a little bit of the third. Well, I caught the end of the second half when the Raiders came back,
Okay.
and then I didn't turn it on after that.
Okay.
I let that go. Great stadium though.
Pizza, hot or cold?
Hot.
Okay. Favorite since the NHL was you'd like to coach at, favorite NHL team?
The Capitals.
Okay.
That's easy.
Okay. Dogs or cats?
Dogs. Cats are creepy.
Most memorable coaching moment while at Global State?
That's tough. I guess our first win down in Washington. That was probably that's a tough one. A couple of them, but no, changing it. Actually, to date, we beat AB, so I beat my alma mater. That was probably a great moment for us here.
This may correlate to your next answer. Biggest rivalry in your mind for the soccer program at Global State?
Biggest rivalry. We'll say that's tough. I don't think we have one. I think we kind of just play everybody, and it's not real bad blood yet.
Okay.
I mean, if you had to pick someone, maybe Wheeling.
Okay.
I mean, I guess that was one of the tough games. Maybe Fairmont, maybe AB, maybe D&E.
Okay, there's a couple.
We'll say everybody.
Okay.
Everybody's a rival.
Most used social media outlet?
Probably my Twitter. But if you ask the girls, they're going to say it's probably my Twitter. Yeah.
Okay. Greatest, big debate, greatest NBA player of all time?
Oh, Michael Jordan. That's not.
Hey, thank you.
That's the GOAT.
And let's go to the next sport. Greatest NFL quarterback of all time?
All time. It has to be Tom Brady right now. I like Joe Montana though, Steve Young, but I think Brady holds the cake.
Brady is probably the GOAT. The one that I would throw in there would be Dan Marino. I know he didn't win a ring.
I was thinking about him.
But he's a legit quarterback. Okay, so this should be a good one for you. Lionel Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo?
Yes.
Both of them?
Yes.
Both of them? Okay. And last one, if you had to live by one hashtag, what would it be?
It is what it is.
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 That's where we're at.
Explanatory, and it is what it is. All right, well, that's going to do it, Coach. Thanks for taking the time out of this busy and crazy semester to sit down and chat.
Yeah, thanks for having us. We look forward to getting going and seeing everybody, out at the games.
All right, Pioneer fans, that's going to do it for this episode of the Pioneer Coaches Show, episode 4. Once again, for myself, Jonathan Griffin, head coach Eric Belcher, Jake Zimmers with Pioneer Media. Make sure you guys tune in next week for episode 5. We will see you Thursday.